Welcome to Off the Roster, brought to you by our founding partner, ProLine. Must be 18 plus to bet in store, 19 plus online, and for Ontario residents only. I'm Lindsay Dunn alongside Cabbie and Dan Riccio. And my guys, what a weekend for sports. What a week for sports. We will do a little Monday morning check-in. Cabbie, how are you feeling today?
You could drug test me at any point from right now to when I was born, and I'll never test positive for any kind of banned substance or narcotic. But watching the NFL feels like I was on drugs for 48 hours. It was absolute. I feel like, is this what crack cocaine feels like? Just watching. I mean, not the last game, not Chargers Patriots, but I am riding high off just a mind-blowing wildcard weekend in the NFL, and salute to the Raptors and the Leafs. What a great weekend. And you, Lindsay, how was your weekend?
My weekend was great. I went on an epic road trip where I spoke to some former Raptors. I saw some questionable signages across the states of advertisement, which were just, there was this place called Uranus, and they said something like, where your fudge tastes the best or something. And I was like, oh, that is such a weird ad. It's clever, but it does not make me want to eat the fudge. Like, come on now. Dan, how was your weekend?
Well, first of all, I want to know, like, when you are road tripping, because we talk so much about your musical tastes, are we like, is it Dean Martin on the Spotify playlist, Ricky Martin, some other Martin I might not know about?
I realize I do like a lot of Martins. I cheer for them. Ricky Martin, Dean Martin, Elijah Martin. It's like if your last name is Martin, you're number one in the Dunn books. You know what? There was a lot of radio, and I let the passenger Prince, the camera guy, I let him for like the first couple of hours pick it. And then on the way back, about an hour out, I was like, I just want to go home. I played Dean Martin. It put me in my happy place. But Dan, that was a wild, wild weekend of sports. We're going to get to you being back at the Leafs game. But like, how was it for you watching all this?
It was unbelievable. Going back to Scotiabank Arena, watching the Leafs and Canucks on Saturday night. Of course, there was a ton of football involved as well. You got to see Josh Allen put his Batman cape on. The football was just insane. Like you kind of feel, I'm with Cab, you feel like exhausted, like you just spent the whole weekend partying in Vegas, and now you're like waking up in like what the hell just happened over the last couple of days? Like that's kind of how the football, I think every game up until the Bills game, or sorry, the Chargers Patriots game last night, every game was decided in the final 2 minutes, and only the Eagles didn't come back and win in the final 2 minutes against the Niners. Every other game that happened flipped hands, flipped leads in the final 2 minutes. It was just absolute madness, and the best theater you can get.
Absolutely. And, I did a check-in on a couple of my friends. My friend Adrian is a huge Eagles fan, and I just texted him before the show. I'm like, hey, buddy, just seeing how you're doing. And you know who I'm not going to check to see how they're doing today? Nick Nurse, because the Philadelphia 76ers took the L last night, my guys. Did they ever?
How did he not have his team prepared for the intentional miss at the end of the game? Unbelievable.
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. If you did not watch this, if you watched it, or if you have some time after our show, the NBA did post on their YouTube the last 8 minutes of the regular play, and then into overtime this game went. But the Raptors, they had the lead, kind of went back in the fourth. Interesting third quarter. I'll just say interesting to be polite. But if you go to the last minute of regulation play, it was so close. It kept going back and forth. There was 3 challenges, 2 successful by the Toronto Raptors, 1 not successful by the 76ers, but this baby went to OT where Scotty Barnes got attacked. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Careful, careful, careful. What can happen here? So it goes down to Scotty Barnes at the free throw line with 0.8 seconds left on the clock. It is tied. He makes the first shot. Here is the call on the Philadelphia 76ers broadcast.
0.8 on the clock, so the Sixers will have one last gasp after this.
Nurse is like oblivious. He's looking around, waiting for Scotty to throw this free throw.
He's going to go for it.
They're just saying how Scotty will not intentionally miss.
This one's over.
Nobody was ready.
And nobody was
Nobody
ready.
was
So they're
ready.
saying how, they're like, Scotty has it. He's not going to intentionally miss that free throw. He probably won't do it. Oh, he did it. They aren't ready. And then you have the walking human public freak out of Nick Nurse, who got a tech in that first quarter, being like, what just happened? And they get the win. So Dan, you're watching this, guys. We have a group chat going on where what I said is not appropriate to reshare. But Dan, what was your reaction to this game?
Honestly, I owe an apology to the Raptors, to Darko and everybody. When Tyrese Maxey hit the three with 20 or 15 seconds left in the game, it was 107-103 for the Sixers. I'm like, all right, this one's done. I'm flipping the channel. I'm going over to the football game. And little did I know, I'm like, I flip back and it's like, what? OT is starting? What just happened? And I had to catch myself up on all the challenges and all the craziness that allowed the Raptors to tie that game. In the end, at first I was like, man, how did they not give Scotty the continuation there? It should be an and one. They obviously didn't. He goes to the free throw line and wins the game anyways. It was about as gritty a Raptors win as you can have. Like, I know they didn't have Joel Embiid and Paul George on the other side, but the Raptors missing BI and RJ Barrett. I think the bench collectively was 0 for 11 from beyond the arc last night. They did not shoot the ball well and somehow still ended up with 116 points. So I give a lot of credit to the Raps for just gritting out another victory, finding a way, and one that is probably going to have some meaning in the standings if they're going to get home field or home court advantage for the postseason.
I like what you did there, home field advantage, because your mind is still on football.
Still on football.
Nobody expected a playground play at the end of the game, so no. I don't blame Philadelphia, because you just never see that. It's something you should prepare for, but Scotty intentionally missing the second free throw, it just, in a moment where it's like the game is literally in the balance, it's very, very smart. And Scotty said after, it's like, I checked with Coach Darko, do you guys want to do it? And I guess he didn't really get the response. He said, bleep it, I'm just going to do it anyway. But I want to give some love to like big starter energy to Elijah Martin and Jamal Shed. Like, Elijah Martin played in his 4th and 5th NBA games ever. And gets 15 minutes against Boston, earns 30 minutes against Philadelphia. And salute to you, Lindsay, for putting him on our radar and other radars, because we had an interview with Elijah Martin earlier in the season. And here he is, like, weeks later. It's like planting the seed. Weeks later, here comes this energetic player, tough defensively. What is finals? 9 points, 8 rebounds with 4 steals and 2 blocks against Philadelphia. He was one of the key players in Toronto's 3rd victory at home, straight victory at home. Two plays I just want to highlight against Philly. He returned to the game around the 5-minute mark in the 4th quarter. I'm like, oh, okay, so this dude is about to play in clutch time. He's about to play in winning time. And on a fast break, bro tried to take Grimes' head off with a dunk. He missed it, but it was fierce. He's like, I'm decapitating mother bleepers today at Scotiabank. And then in overtime, he just casually snatched the ball from Kelly Oubre and won in the opening possession of OT. And then on the next possession, Martin grabbed another rebound off an Oubre miss. He just had played with great energy and poise for his 5th ever NBA game. And then a couple of notes on Jamal Shed. Evidently, I'm new to this, because near the end of the second quarter against Philly, Elijah Martin poked the ball away from Tyrese Maxey, which led to a Raptors fast break. Martin, his lay-in kind of rims out, but Jamal Shed comes in with a 2-handed flush putback. I'm like, I'm sorry, I am unfamiliar with your game. When did dude get hops? Like, Jamal Shed's got I had no idea. I'm new to this, I suppose. And then just had a couple of really smart plays. The baseline out of bounds play finds quickly in the corner. His foot was on the line. We thought it was a 3, but it was a 2. And then just the awareness. Colin Murray Boyle's kind of driving. Shed gets behind the defense, gets the pass, just had this beautiful touch on a floater. 107. This sends the game into OT. Again, 22 points, career high. We can't say enough positive platitudes about this young man, specifically Jamal Shed and the way he's played for the Raptors this season. Just an exciting young young player. And this team is full with young, bright players. And I mean, the sky's the limit for them. Oh, maybe that's too much, but they are the team as a whole I think it's exceeded anybody's expectations so far this season. Lindsay, I don't know how you experience. I don't know if you were at the game or if you're way back from the road trip. I don't know if you felt the energy. Where did you experience the Philly game?
I just got back to Toronto and I just walked into where I live, and then I saw, like, oh my gosh, Jacoby Walter is out of the game. No, they can't have another injury because they got this win without Jacoby, without RJ Barrett, without Brandon Ingram, without Jakob Poeltl. And Cabbie, thanks for giving me some props, because I've been on the Elijah Martin train since a little bit before Summer League, when we saw what he did in Florida, and then throughout the G League when you saw him with the 905, which now I'm a little worried he will not get the call back, but we'll see. There's a rule of how many minutes they can have in games with the Raptors. That's a whole other story, but Elijah Martin is not afraid of the moment, big or small. He is ready for it. He is, for the most part, a very unselfish player. He's not somebody that's thinking right away, oh, I'm going to go in the game and get 25 minutes. I'm going to do whatever I can defensively, offensively, get some rebounds, get those steals. And you saw him not be afraid of trying to take that ball, like you mentioned, going up for the dunk, trying to spark some offense, some defense, bringing that dog in him. And I remember asking him with the 905, just the physicality he loves in defensive plays and having that match. He takes so much pride in who he's up against. Is, he also used to play football, and he absolutely brings that physicality to the court. And you're so happy that he finally got the time. And did he ever show up and take advantage of that moment? And you know who gave him big praise? His teammate Scotty Barnes, who was well aware of his game from something that happened earlier in their career.
Oh, I already knew about Elijah when he was at FAU. Crazy story. We was doing pickup runs versus their guys. Like, we just, summer runs, you just have some random runs. But, I live in the Boca area. And they had like their little squad going versus, like, we had a couple pros out there. But, he was trying to guard me, talking about, I'm locking that up, coming for you. Hit him with some turnaround phase, like, calm down, man. But he showed that dog. He showed grit, I already been seeing it. Even last summer when we was playing some runs, he talks that trash. He got the edge on his back. He's a dog.
He is a dog. And we had him talking on the show about the trash talk and the art of the trash talk coming from him. He believes it. And, like, that's huge compliments coming from someone viewed as the face and leader of this team. But Dan had to bring up like a little low note. Yeah, they shot 15% from beyond the arc. But then the positive note is what Cabbie said. Yeah, about everyone. You have so much to be excited for if you are a Raptors fan. Like you said, Cabbie, they're kind of living beyond the expectations people had. But when you have rookies like Elijah Martin, you have CMB getting another 15 boards yesterday, including 3 steals, 17 points. I'm excited. Guy lifts. Let's go. I'm like in the best mood. And tonight, they are taking on the 76ers again. And my vibes, I kind of don't care what happens, but I also just want them to win again and again over the 76ers. I'm feeling great. But Cabbie, I'm going to start with you after this clip. Kyle Lowry, because I know you had a lot of moments and interactions with him, and I've spoken to him. And Dan, we've watched him throughout the years, but this potentially tonight is his last game playing against the Toronto Raptors in Toronto. He's kind of looking like he's leaning towards retirement at the end of this season. So he was asked pregame, this is a video courtesy of Hello and Welcome's Will Liu, if he had his jersey retired as a Raptor, what that would mean.
Kyle, what's going to be in your heart when you see that number 7 go up in the Raptors one day?
I don't know if it's going to go up.
It's going to go up. Come on, man. It's going to go up. Come on, Kyle.
I saw that side eye.
I don't know. Y'all ever see me cry?
We're about to.
You say you think so? Hell no. No, I don't know.
What do you want to check?
Matt, it depends on how Matt, says it, and we got Matt Devlin. He might, how he does it up there. He might be the MC, but if it does and when it does, it will be a super emotional day. I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in that 7, and to know that the fact that it probably won't ever be worn again will be pretty special. I think something that for my basketball legacy is, it's pretty darn cool.
Kyle he's a tough player, and that's like part of his DNA and part of his reputation. He's gonna cry. He's gonna be there with his 2 kids and his beautiful wife, and he's gonna see the building will be euphoric because the Toronto fans will just thank him for everything that he's delivered to the squad, most importantly the championship. I heard now I can't say who the source is, but I remember hearing that as a measure of respect to Kyle, he was called before to ask for his blessing so that they could retire Vince's number first. Now, and to me and many people, I believe that Kyle Lowry is the greatest Raptor ever. And Kyle said, yes, of course, honor Vince. So, and I think Toronto did an incredible job to honor Vince Carter. It's going to the celebration, the most recent one, to Jose Bautista and Vince Carter. They were incredible celebrations of those players in the franchises. But I did hear that, and I thought it was just real mature by Kyle, and we've seen him mature over the years because he wasn't always the most mature player when he got here from was it Houston or Memphis? I can't remember. And remember, we were going to trade him to New York. Anyway, I think he's going to cry, Lindsay. I don't know, Dan. What's your? How do you think Kyle's going to react? And how should the fans react tonight? This is potentially Kyle Lowry's final game in Scotiabank.
Yeah. I hope Nick Nurse puts him in. Like, just throw him out there for like the standing O, at some point. Like that would just be fitting. Yeah, especially if the game is who knows what's happening in the fourth quarter. If it's a close one, I mean, we'll see. But ultimately, like Kyle is, he is the immortal Raptor, right? Like from a Larry O.B. title run that they had. And sure, Kawhi Leonard had the big moments. He had the big shot against the Sixers, and they don't win that title without Kawhi Leonard joining that team for that one magical season. But Kyle Lowry is the immortal out of everything that happened through that year, because that iteration of the Raptors doesn't happen without Kyle Lowry's growth as a player and how he embraced the franchise alongside DeMar DeRozan, who ended up not obviously being a part of that title run. But Kyle is the immortal. And I know that, it's weird to have somebody kind of commenting on their jersey eventually being retired while they're still in the league. But we all know it's going to happen because there couldn't be somebody more deserving of that honor for the Raptors.
I'm so excited for this. Thank you for joining us in the chat on YouTube underneath the Nation Network. A lot of people talking about this conversation, or thank you however you may be joining us. And in the chat, someone said, seeing Kyle warms the heart. Seeing Nick Nurse is like that bad feeling when you see your ex out. Well, nothing is better when you look good and feel good when you see that ex and you get that W. And I'm hoping that's what happens tonight. And I saw an ex-Raptor on the weekend. I drove to Indianapolis. I saw a couple of them. One of them, a potential all-star this year, and he has the numbers to back it out. We saw the head coach of Indiana Pacers after they beat the Miami Heat saying that Norman Powell, who I'm talking about, should be an all-star this year and that he will be giving him his vote. I had the chance to speak up with Stormin' Norman Powell ahead of the game, and here's what happened. Stormin' Norman Powell from 3. Hey, remember the time this season where you hit that, well beyond the arc 3 with one hand?
1 second left in the half. Powell got it! A long kaboom here in Brooklyn for Norman Powell.
Yeah.
Okay, remember the time you had 9 3-pointers in one game?
Powell again. Oh, and again and again and again.
Yeah.
Okay, remember that time I saw you last year at All-Star Game? You're in the 3-point competition? I know.
Yeah.
Has there been conversation about you being in the All-Star Game, participating in the 3-pointer again? Would you do this?
I haven't heard anything yet. But if I'm there for All-Star, hopefully I am, I'd love to participate again in the 3-point contest.
Yeah, so you said if you're there, which we hope you are, you should be there. 10 years in the association. Everyone is saying you should be there. How does it feel to hopefully finally get that recognition, and what would it mean to you?
I think it feels great, just to be mentioned in the conversation, especially over the last 2 years, just from my story, where I've come from, where I started, even being mentioned in the 3-point contest. I came into the league as a quote-unquote non-shooter out of college, shot 29% from 3 to be able to be a 40% 3-point shooter for
pretty much the majority of my career is just a testament to my hard work. And getting that nod as an all-star would be great. You know, it's something that I've always wanted as a kid, watching Kobe, D. Wade, Allen Iverson, and all those guys participate in the all-star at that stage and wanting to do that as well. So hopefully I'm able to check that box this year. I wanted multiple all-stars, so last year it should have happened too, but hopefully it happens this time.
Don't worry, we're bitter about that on your end. But it's great because you say as a non-shooter, all we hear about you now is from three. We're in Indianapolis right now, where you happen to be taking on a former bench mob member in Pascal Siakam.
Pascal, Love trying to track him down. We understand the grind, Norm. We understand the grind.
When you're taking on any of these former guys, do you hit them up in a text before, being like, "Can't wait to hit a 3 over you"?
Nah, not really. You know, we talk and stuff throughout the course of the year, you know, checking in how everybody's doing. But it's always good to face your former teammates, especially being able to catch up with them. And then in the competition, you know, you want to see them do well and bad at the same time because you want to get a win. But it's always good fun playing against former guys you've used to lace them up with.
Some of these former guys, you starred in some iconic commercials in Toronto. So we have the Oscars coming up. I want to know which of these duos should get an award.
Yeah.
You and OG, you and Fred, or you and Corey Joseph?
Oh man, me and Corey Joseph had to tour around the city.
Say it again? Bagels. Some of you kept saying bagels. It's bagels. Why are you laughing?
Me and OG had the Ford Skills Challenge, I believe it was.
Look at this car door. Let me in this car door.
And then me and Fred had Osmos, right? You got your go-to slumber spot. So probably the Skills Challenge with OG or Fred. Okay. Yeah, the Skills Challenge was a lot of fun. I think I beat OG, so.
Dude, I'm a better driver than you. That's just what this means. I didn't want to say it.
I'll take that one.
Of course you did. I did a quick look back at your freshman year with UCLA. They had this rapid fire question with you, and I'm curious how your answers in 2026 shape up.
Oh, man.
So they asked you, what is your hidden talent? What would yours be now?
Hidden talent? I know sign language.
I can write poetry.
Oh, wow. I don't write poetry anymore.
Just your Instagram captions?
Yeah. That's all you get.
Yeah. And then who is now your celebrity crush?
My celebrity crush? Megan Good. I probably said Anne Hathaway.
You said J-Lo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
J-Lo.
In the interview, they spoke about how, you know, you love music, and in 2026, there's a lot of new albums coming out. You know, we have potentially Rihanna, Bruno Mars, J. Cole, but on SoundCloud, there's this guy, people keep asking for them to release a new album. In 2026, they did a sample. As a music guy, I want you to let me know if you think this song's going to be a banger, okay?
Oh, my God. You got to keep that, no, you got to keep that in the archive. We don't need that one no more. We don't need that one.
No problem for me. Cause what? No, we're gonna know.
Oh my gosh.
No.
We gotta delete that off all internet, social media, everything. We gotta keep that in a folder in the archives.
So you would not want me to play this for BAM today?
No, not at all. Not at all. To keep that hidden. That wasn't even me for real. That was a stunt double.
A few moments later.
So I want you to hear this, probably for the first time.
Excellent.
Oh, no. I'm gone. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Liz.
Outstanding. Yes.
No,
I think, and Ben must have known that was Norm's voice, because he was just immediately like, "Oh no, hell no, I'm out of here." I love their camaraderie. Do you see where they're throwing snowballs at each other? Like, this is.
Oh yeah.
You planted a seed. There's going to be like some rookie night where there's going to be karaoke or something. Norm will probably refuse to sing because he was so embarrassed, and you rightly like, "Oh, here you go." In case you forgot, Norm, the internet has the receipts, and will always have the receipts as much as you want to bury or delete the clip from the interwebs. It ain't gonna happen. Nice work, Liz. Nice work.
Yeah, I had I spoke to Bam a little bit longer than that. I asked him about Norm as a teammate because I knew that they had this instant camaraderie, which rumor has it started because Norm accidentally had a seat in Bam's spot on the bus. I'm like, oh, you did not sit in Bam's spot. A longtime member of the Miami Heat. But I have to give some context into playing that GoDaddy commercial with Norm. So when he was with the Clippers, Norm is great. I've been following him since he was a rookie and interviewing him a bunch. It was just nice to see him again and talk life. But when he was with the Clippers, I had the iPad out and he saw the video before I did it. So he tried to slap it out of my hand. So there's no way I'm not playing this again. And yeah, Bam was just and so all the other players are like, sorry, is that really Norm? And some of the media, they're like, what is this?
Yeah.
Love you, Norm. Have a great season. Can't wait to see you at the All-Star game, my guy.
Norm may never talk to you again. No, I think that you'll be fine, Linz. I think you'll be fine. But that was incredible stuff.
So wait, in the interview when he was with the Clippers, as he tried to knock the iPad out of you, were you able to reference it in that interview, or did you have to wait till this weekend to then
no, I referenced it in there, and I just returned it up and had the video playing. And so then he tried to talk louder and louder over the video and was trying to get the iPad away from me. So I'm like, how can I be sneaky? So I'm like, I'll just tell him that there's this new artist with a song out. I just want him to hear a little bit of it.
Nice. Well done.
He's like, you got me. It's unfortunate, he didn't have the best game against the Pacers, but he still had a great game, so much so that, like I mentioned, their head coach saying that he will be getting the All-Star vote. So yes, he should be at the All-Star game. And we'll see if Pascal Siakam also will get there. He is in, I believe, the top 10, and the Raptors taking on the Pacers on Wednesday. We will have an interview with Spicy P Skills as well. But let's go to the ice, because the Leafs, they are on a bit of a doozy of a road trip. But I just want to rewind before we get into tonight's game against Colorado to talk about Dan getting to go cover a Leafs game in person for the first time in almost a decade. I know you were out in Vancouver, so they're taking on the former team you covered. What was the emotions like? Were you an emotional wreck? Did you wear the white tank top like we told you to?
I did not wear any canottiera to the Leafs game. I did not, try to match William Nylander, who wore it better, because Willie would have worn it better. Obviously, it was a lot of fun, getting to see some old people that I used to chop it up with when I was covering games regularly here in Toronto, and then obviously some of the Vancouver colleagues, shout out to Craig McEwen with the Canucks, and obviously Ian McIntyre as well, and Thomas Strand, some of my old colleagues at Sportsnet. It was good to catch up. And also I was given a quick reminder, because it's a 5-0 Leafs. They're up 3-0 at the end of one. And I was given a quick reminder, do people cheer for Leaf games at Scotiabank Arena? Is that why the goal horn is so loud? Because the crowd isn't loud enough? I mean, guys, it's a 3-0 game at the end of one. You should be on your feet. Where's the standing O for these guys? They're quicker to boo these guys than they are to cheer them. It was unbelievable. Come on. I forgot. I couldn't believe I forgot how much of how quiet it could be in place of something that would be a little bit harsher for Leafs fans. But you go to Leaf games across Western Canada. Cab, you may have seen it in Calgary when the Leafs are in town. I certainly saw it when the Canucks would host the Leafs. It's mostly a Leafs fan barn for those games, and those crowds are insane. So I was, just the contrast was surprising to me.
I was, I would agree with you. Now, when you go to a Raptors game, you'll see the other side of the coin.
Turned up, yeah.
Yeah, they turn up the whole game. It's not quite like a soccer crowd where they're just bouncing and singing for the entire 90 minutes. But it's pretty loud in Scotiabank when the Raptors are in town. I was one thought about the Vancouver and Toronto game from Saturday. It's just and listen, the context is they're playing the worst team in the NHL. Okay,
yeah.
So that's the context.
The worst team in the
But the special
facts
team,
only. Yeah, facts only.
Yeah, but the special team just dominated. Toronto killed all of Vancouver's 6 penalties, even including a 2-man advantage in the first period. There was one moment in the second period where Toronto had 3 shorthanded chances during a Canucks power play, and Austin Matthews had one too. And as Scott Lawton had I think Scott Lorenz had tipped it forward a lot, and he loads up the slap shot, and it didn't get it high enough, so it was a glove save by was the goalie again, Kevin Lankinen. But I was just surprised. The penalty kill has been outstanding. They go 2 for 4 on the power play, including salute to our guy, Nick Robertson, who just got Oliver Ekman-Larsson had a nice shot from the point. It redirects off Pettersson unknowingly. And then there's Nick Robertson just waiting in the slot. Boom, he scores his 10th. So special teams, and the special teams will have to be elite tonight against Colorado. But in that 5-0 shutout against Vancouver, I was just very impressed by Joseph Woll for sure for getting his second shutout, but just the whole unit as a group and how much that unit has been improving since Mark Savard said, peace, or maybe he was told to say peace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets told to say peace.
Yeah. I don't want to kick the man when he's down, but okay. Deuces.
Yeah. The Leafs are the number 1 team in the league since they made that move. I just facts again
on
facts
special
only,
teams.
Facts only. Facts only.
They're number 3 on the power play. They're number 1 in penalty kill since
well, we can see it, bro. Every game, these guys are just playing lights out. While this, what is it, 7-0-2 in their last 9 games, or 7-1-2, I believe, in their last 10. Like, Leafs are cooking right now.
Yeah. 18 points, most in the league, 16 points, most in the league, 16 of 18 since they let go of Savard. But if I may here for a second, I'm watching the game on Saturday, right? And it was, for somebody that's covered the Canucks for the last 8 years, and certainly through the start of this season as well. I mean, I could see the way that this story was going to play out this year with how the Canucks were playing early. And I feel bad for Canucks fans. Like, when was the last time you saw a visiting team fan throw a jersey on the ice? Like, somebody threw a Canucks jersey on the ice at Scotia on Saturday. And I feel so bad for Canucks fans, because that's one of the most passionate fan bases in the league. Easily, they bleed for that team. They bleed blue and green, and it's an awful squad right now. I mean, the Leafs didn't even have to take it out of third gear on Saturday night. Canucks had 6 power plays, 29 shots. I don't think Joseph Woll will ever have an easier shutout than the one that he had on Saturday. And the Canucks, this is a team that's never won a Stanley Cup. They've made 3 Cup finals. So that's, more than you could say for the Maple Leafs in the expansion era. But 94 and 2011, they were close ultimately, but they didn't get it done. There was the choke job in 2011, bad refereeing, bad officiating. Tinfoil hats will say that the league conspired against the Canucks for those final 2 games. Maybe not get blown out in every game in Boston is something I would say. The whole 9 yards happened during that 2011 series, but other than that, you had the West Coast Express era. What other Canucks iteration do you remember than those 2 Stanley Cup runs? And the answer really is none, because you look at all-time win percentages across the National Hockey League of active franchises, the Canucks are 3rd from the bottom, and the only teams below them are the Seattle Kraken and Columbus Blue Jackets, 2 teams that have played thousands of fewer games than the Canucks have in their history. This is... for one of the most proud fan bases in the league, this is a team that's never given them consistent success. Forget about a Stanley Cup. Make the playoffs for a few years in a row. I covered that team for 8 years, 2 playoff appearances. One was in the North Division, the bubble in Edmonton, which nobody really ended up getting to see. This is a franchise that desperately needs a rebuild. It smacked them in the face this year. You had to trade away the best franchise defenseman you had and one of the best defensemen in the league. So for Canucks fans, I know they've wanted this for years. I hope management and ownership sees the writing on the wall and goes and gets them the next Macklin Celebrini or Connor Bedard, both Vancouver kids who were recently drafted 1st overall, and take the pain right now, because the future could be bright in Vancouver if you do this right.
Talk that talk, Dan Riccio. Talk that talk.
Yeah, man. And the thing is, I hope those bad vibes stay in Vancouver and didn't follow you out here. Although the Leafs have enough around them. I'm hoping for positive vibes.
Leafs got good vibes right now. We got good vibes.
They really do.
We have great vibes surrounding them right now. And we heard Cabbie mention Colorado. So tonight they are taking on the Avalanche, who had a like scorched earth almost start to the season. They were fantastic. They're firing all cylinders. They have McKinnon on the team. So Cabbie, when you see who they're taking on tonight, like what's the vibe check at tonight? What are you hoping to see? Like, how are you feeling?
Oh, these mother bleepers are still scorching earth. The goal differential for the Colorado Avalanche is plus 83. That is just bonkers. They've won 8 of the last 10 at home. These mother bleepers, no, not 8 of 10 just overall, but these mother bleepers have won 17 straight games at home. And the Leafs play in Colorado in their home. I suppose the only note that the one thing I'll be looking for is like as at 5-5, this game will be whether Toronto can survive Colorado's pace without turning the puck over in the middle of the ice. And Toronto has a great penalty kill unit. Colorado's weirdly not great on the PP. So maybe there's an advantage there for Toronto, but when you're looking at paper and you're just looking at the production that Nate McKinnon, who is in FU mode, who's like, I know the league is in love with 97 in Edmonton, but I'm still here, mother bleepers, and I'm coming for another cup. The person I'm chasing is my best friend, Sidney Crosby. He's got 3. I think he's got 3 hearts. Nate's like, I need my trophy case by the end of my career to look very close to Sid's. And I'm about to go get a gold medal in Milano in about T-minus a month. So Colorado, the hockey expression is that squad is a wagon, and Toronto's got to do its best not to get crushed by it. I don't know how you see it, Dan, but I'm cautiously optimistic. If the Leafs can get like 3 goals, I'm worried. I don't know if I'm even cautiously. We generally like to bring positive vibes, but I'm worried tonight.
I'd probably be looking at ProLine tonight and wondering what the first period line is. Like, could I get minus half a goal on Colorado, because I would take them to win the first period. Thinking of the contrast of going up against the worst team in the NHL to the best team in the NHL and what the Avs have done this year, like the Leafs should be feeling very confident. They've played really well, but I wonder if there's a moment in the first period where it's like, you get punched in the mouth because, it's going to be a different kind of a game tonight against the Colorado Avalanche. McKinnon's been unbelievable. Like, you look at his numbers this year, they don't even make sense. Not even just from like the point standpoint. He's plus 42 at 5-on-5. The Avs are plus 42 with McKinnon on the ice at 5-on-5. They've scored 42 more goals than their opponents. Like last year, he wasn't even close to that number for the entirety of the season. You want to compare it to Connor McDavid. The Oilers at 5-on-5 are plus 2 with McDavid on the ice. So it's a wild contrast. And for me, he should still be the Hart Trophy leader. But as an aside, the Leafs tonight, if they keep playing the way that they have, I think there's a lot to like about what this team has done. It starts with the 4 centermen. Nick Waugh playing really well. Scott Laughton as your 4th line center is an absolute luxury. And Austin Matthews is leading the charge. They can win games through the middle of the ice because they are so strong down the middle. And now that they have that, they've got special teams going. That's why we're seeing more consistent results. But this is absolutely a measuring stick game for the Leafs. They've had a bit of an easier schedule. They've made up ground in the standings, but now you're going up against the team that, as we sit here on January 12th, is the favorite to win the Stanley Cup. And I want to see how I don't even care about the result. I just want to see if you can hang with the Colorado Avalanche tonight.
I just want to see if you can hang with I have full belief in this, but Dan, you actually suggested a question to us all in the group chat today about where we're at in, say, the belief-o-meter. And,
where's your belief-o-meter at?
Yeah. Where's your belief-o-meter at? So I want to read the scale you gave us. So we have 1, no belief, to 10, big belief. So Cabbie, I will let you give us your belief-o-meter first, where you're feeling right now.
I have my belief is at about an 8. The team has come around in the last 10 games, got some positive results. As you mentioned, Dan, they're climbing back up the standings. Austin Matthews is back playing like one of the top goal scorers on planet Earth. So, and then again, we love the shouting out the third line, showing them some love because they're producing and carrying some of the offensive burden. So I'm at about an 8. Lindsay, and I don't know if you haven't said whether you're going to be flipping back and forth between Sixers and the Avs game, or will you be locked into one? But where's your belief at right now? Because it's kind of scary tonight against Colorado.
So I love covering sports, and I love sports because I constantly am kicked in the shins, a nice gut punch, because I always believe I'm at a 10 out of 10. Are you kidding me? Even where people were saying trade Matthews, fire Craigie B, I still believe there'd be a turnaround, and hell yeah, they are on a hell of a stretch right now. We also have a trade deadline coming up. What moves could they make? They have a big stretch of crazy games happening this week. They play tonight in Colorado. Tomorrow, they're playing Utah. On Thursday, they're back at it in Vegas, taking on former teammate Mitch Marner. Then they're taking on the Winnipeg Jets, who are hoping for a Hail Mary to turn their season around. I believe they can take 3 out of 4. 10 out of 10, B-Leaf, baby. I have full confidence in the squad, and every year I'm getting ready to start that parade for the Stanley Cup. So let me tell you, I'm the worst person to ask about this, but also the best to hype them up. If you're feeling a little down on the Leafs, send me a message. I'll give you a nice positive stat. But Dan, I feel like you're going to bring me back down to reality, which is what happens every playoffs.
You guys are going to make me be the bad guy? I feel like Tony Montana right now. So say good night to the bad guy. Okay. Well, say good day to the bad guy, because I'm just going to bring a little bit of reality here. It's been an incredible run for the Leafs, but at the end of the day, they're still chasing a playoff spot, right? Like, for as good as 7-0-2 is, 16 of the past 18 points, they're outside of the playoffs looking in. They're still 5 points out of a top 3 spot in the Atlantic. Like, when this streak started, they were 6 points out of a top 3 spot in the Atlantic. So as good as they've been, they've only gained 1 point on one of those guaranteed playoff positions for a top 3 spot in the division. So think about that and how it's very difficult to climb the standings. And on top of that, they have one of the hardest schedules in the National Hockey League for the remainder of the season. That's really evidenced by this West Coast trip. They got another West Coast trip before the end of the month and before the Olympic break. It's a really truncated schedule. These are going to be difficult things for them to manage, but there are a lot of positives. Love what Bobby McMahon has done. Matthias Michelli looks like a power play savant right now and is absolutely helped the power play find another gear. You've got Easton Cowan. Cowboy has found his game as a rook. And the defense, thanks to Troy from Richmond and Jake McCabe, have really started to solidify things. And so there's a lot that I like. The goaltending has been unbelievable, really, with Joseph Woll and of course, Dennis Hildeby, the Hildebeest. These are all very positive things, but it's still a difficult road for this team to navigate. So I'm going to put it at my belief is at a 4 right now.
What? 4, bro? Wow.
That's they still got a road to climb. They still got a big climb. They still got a mountain to climb.
But belief to win the cup, or like belief to get to the playoffs, or just
belief to get to the playoffs. They still are on the outside looking.
Wow. Man, Lindsay and I are seeing the world through rose-colored glasses, evidently, bro. And then Dan came in with that's bad juju, bro.
Last week I would have been even lower, but now, I'm feeling a lot better, even though I'm still at a 4. But this is still a big hill for them to climb. And if they can play well tonight, play well through this road trip, maybe we're having a different conversation, our belief-o-meter next week.
A couple of things. Goaltending has been superb recently, and I think you even mentioned, like, could Anthony Stolarz be on the trade block to get some assets? And I have to make I didn't have a flub, but to make it clear, because the chat's calling me out, and I should be called out. When I said Avs or Sixers, Lindsay, which one are you going to watch tonight? I meant Toronto. The Raptors are playing the Sixers tonight, and the Toronto Maple Leafs are playing the Colorado Avalanche. I didn't make that clear when I asked where are you going to be flipping back and forth between those games. So yes, the chat, you should rightly call me out. So I just wanted to make that clear. Okay, we can move on.
I picked up what you're putting down, and to answer that question, I'm going to have multiple screens on because we also have the Houston and the Steelers. Whatever. You see where I'm at, but like there's a lot going on. So I'm going to have every screen I have going on and happening in life. I'm going to be having an energy drink because it's going to be a wild night. But I am really excited also to see what the Sceptres do this week. And you guys had the chance to speak to Natalie Spooner, star of the Toronto Sceptres and the PWHL, and an Olympian earlier today. Here is a moment from their chat. Take it away, Dan.
Happy to be joined now on Off the Roster by Toronto Sceptres forward Olympian. It's Natalie Spooner. Thanks for this, Natalie. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for making time. I got to be honest, like watching hockey these last few days and these last couple weeks, I keep seeing the Factor commercial. I am so sold. The Natalie Spooner Factor. I'm all in on these prepped meals. I'm in for it.
There you go. Have you tried them yet?
I have. They're pretty damn good.
They are good.
Nice.
Cabbie, I have to send you a coupon. If you need them, I'll send you a coupon.
Yes, as long as it's loaded with carbs and sugar and green. That's what I like. I can't do your diet, Natalie. You're too much of a high performance human. I need like the opposite of that.
Oh, I have a sweet tooth too.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well then hook me up with that. Yeah, I'm down.
It's amazing, and I like the explosion of the women's game over the last few years has just been. I mean, it's been a long time coming, first of all, but I like not just the PWHL, but you look at the WNBA, even the NWSL, like just across North America and even across the pond with the way that the women's game, women's soccer has really started to blow up as well. I mean, it's been incredible to see this explosion that has been so long coming. And for you, how many years you've been around it, what's it been like to experience this explosion as a whole?
Oh, I mean, it's been a dream come true. I think obviously when I graduated university a long time ago and entered the CWHL, we were fighting, to get a league like this out of the CWHL, and it never came to fruition. But to be able to then go on the Dream Gap tour and promote our game and show that there is a market for women's hockey out there, and to eventually, become the PWHL. And I remember that first game at Mattamy Arena, we didn't know what it was going to be like. And we were just like praying that people showed up. And I remember when Billie Jean came out to drop the puck, it was just like electric. And in that moment, I was like, wow, we have something special here. We've created it and now we just got to run with it. And I think we saw that, season 1 and then season 2 even better. And now season 3, and just to see our fan bases grow, our league grow, I think it's exciting. And I think the fans are all about it, and we love it. We love seeing the fans show up with their posters and their costumes and everything.
Well, we know that Canadians travel well, and we know that there will be a healthy contingent in Milano, Italy. And as I'm prepping for, I will also be in Italy. As I'm prepping for the Olympics, he said, if I don't enjoy the local vino in Italy, I'm not doing Italy right. So a question to you, Nat, is when will you and the squad indulge in some vino? And additionally, before you prepare for a game against the United States, will you guys be sampling the hopes and dreams of American fans in order to power Team Canada to gold in 2026?
Sure. Maybe save the vino for after we win.
Okay.
But I mean, I hope I can get some fresh pasta and bread there. And,
you will.
All delicious. But yeah, just looking forward to getting over there, competing with my team, and bringing back another gold to Canada.
So due to recent results, and I'm talking specifically about the rivalry series and the 25 World Cup, this is one of the few times where Canada is the underdog in like international hockey. When was the last time you were an underdog in underdog to our American counterparts more specifically? But when was the last time you were like an underdog in any international play? Do you remember?
There used to be many events.
Okay.
Like 2014 would have been the Olympics where probably felt like the most underdogs. That was the game where we were down 2-0 with like 2.5 minutes left, and we came back to win that game. But I mean, when I first joined the team in 2011, like in 2012 Worlds, we lost to the US like 9 something crazy in the round robin, and came back to win that World Championships, which was my first World Championship win. So, I mean, every game against the US can be kind of crazy, but I think it's just who's going to show up on that day and who's going to want it more. And I think, the group that we have has a lot of experience, has a lot of heart. And I think, we're so proud and honored to represent Canada. And I think the fans and Canadians are going to see that when we get out on the ice.
Sarah Nurse revealed to us the other day that Emma Malte is one of or part of the group that sets up the tunes in the locker room. 1, does Emma do that as well for the Toronto Sceptres? And 2, will there be more of a group playlist on Spotify that everybody adds to get their favorite tracks on?
Ooh, normally Emma kind of just takes it over until people complain, but most of the time she's got pretty good music that no one's really complaining. So yeah, I think we're all pretty good with Emma controlling the music.
How are you feeling right now? You know, it's I know looking back at training camp, you were talking about how excited you were about the summer that you had coming off the knee injury. How are you feeling going into this Olympics?
Yeah, feeling good. Obviously, the last 3 years have been a grind for me. You know, coming off of pregnancy, to having kind of a post-pregnancy injury, to then having obviously season one, a great season, and then tearing my ACL, to rehabbing that. I think it's just kind of been one thing after another, but to kind of keep battling and to make it to this point, I'm feeling good on the ice. You know, getting so many chances, just needing to bear down a little bit. But I think that is going to kind of come as the season goes, and just keep fighting through that. So yeah, I feel good. I'm excited to be with the team and heading over there, and just hope I can contribute in whatever way possible.
A fourth Olympics, like not many people get to do this. How cool is that for you to, like, you know, have that on the resume, have that on the Wikipedia page, 4 Olympics?
It's pretty crazy. I mean, yeah, I think when I went to my first Olympics, I never thought I would be in this position at all. But I think this one is going to be extra special, like getting to have my son there. He kind of is finally getting everything and loves like the other girls too and cheering them on. So it'll be really cool to have him there, have my family there. Last Olympics, obviously being the COVID Olympics, there was no families at the Olympics. So this time to be able to have my family there cheering us on will just be amazing.
Okay, so let's bring it back closer to home. As the PWHL expands, and salute to Vancouver and Seattle joining the league, so will the rosters. And so, which also means some teammates will be moving in the expansion draft, and it's rumored that there will be 2 new clubs. I think 26-27, correct? Or is it 27-28?
Yeah, next season.
Next season, right.
Yeah.
So if this hasn't been discussed yet, or it has been discussed in the group chat, is there any sense of like the mood, either excitement or like, man, like, hey, it's great to see you guys, you ladies now, but like I may not see you, next year or the year after.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always bittersweet. It was kind of the same with Vancouver, Seattle. Obviously, I think it's amazing for the league, and Vancouver and Seattle were so excited to get teams in their market. And you look at a lot of these markets where we've gone on the takeover tour, and they're just like dying to have a team in their market and to have women's hockey. So in that sense, it's amazing. The bitter part is you're losing teammates. Your friends that you become close with on your team are having to go to different teams. But I think in the big scheme of things, people realize that, this is the betterment of women's hockey and making sure that we're growing and we're getting to where we need to be. But yeah, I don't know how many teams they're planning on putting in. I think it's all speculation right now, but I guess we'll see when everyone else does down the line.
For sure. And we're excited too. We're also excited for January 17th, which is the Battle on Bay Street. Natalie Spooner, I'd like you to make a bold proclamation.
Yes. Well, first of all, we need everyone to get tickets to come out to Scotiabank and watch us and cheer us on. I think before when we played in Scotiabank, the atmosphere has been electric, and we need to recreate that. We recently played at the Bell Center, and it was crazy loud in there. So I need the fans to be louder than it was at the Bell Center. But I mean, I think we need a big win at Scotiabank Arena. I don't know.
Listen,
yeah.
And that is exactly what I wanted. And to follow up with that proclamation, will your teammates Daryl Watts score our goal or the game-winning goal? Natalie, put it on record. We need to speak this into existence.
I'm going to put 2 goals for Daryl.
Let's go. Lock that in. Yeah. 2 goals.
Yeah, 2 goals for Daryl for sure. I think it's going to be a big game for Daryl. Hometown, let's do it up. Yeah, I don't know about the game winner, but I just feel like she's just going to set the tone and go out in there and score too.
She's keeping the game winner for herself, Cab. That's
I don't know.
Why not?
I don't want to put too much pressure on Daryl.
Okay, fair enough. Last one for me, as we speak about Scotiabank Arena, I had a friend who used to play on the Toronto Maple Leafs, and this mother bleeper ate Chipotle 3 times a week. Now, when he told me that, I can't remember how he did in that particular season, but Chipotle was his go-to meal. And I'm thinking of Chipotle because I remember seeing you in Taco Bell, like doing a Taco Bell partnership, and I was messaging Ryan Reeves. I'm like, bro, I got to get in on this. But what is the most what is the guiltiest pleasure that you indulge in off whether off season or like on off days or a stretch where you're just like Dan and I, we're going to watch some, NFL playoffs on the weekend. We're just kind of laid back and, have our hand in a bowl of something. What is the hand in a bowl of something that Natalie Spooner enjoys on a random Sunday or Monday or whatever?
I'm bad because I don't think I feel guilty for what I'm eating. So, But ever since the 2014 Olympics, I eat a chocolate bar before every game.
In real life?
Every game. Let's go.
What do you mean?
Because at Canada House at the 2014 Olympics, they were giving away free chocolate bars. So my mom was like, hey, I got some chocolate bars for you. And so then I remember I was in my room. I started in the morning just like nibbling at this chocolate bar. And I was with Wickenheiser and Zabados. They were my roommates. And they were like, what is that noise? And I was like, it's just my Raptor. Just eating a piece of chocolate. And then I felt like I was playing pretty good. So I was like, now I got to eat a chocolate bar before every game. And I just kind of kept it going.
What is the, sorry, what, okay, what's
in
2014, you guys were in Sochi, so was it like a Russian chocolate bar or just like any chocolate bar?
At Canada House, they had dairy milks.
Sorry, Canada House, sorry. Okay.
Yeah. So most of the time I eat dairy milks, but I'm not against other chocolate if I can't find a dairy milk. Also, American dairy milks are not the same as Canadian dairy milks, so that's...
Natalie, I have the perfect chocolate bar for you. Score.
Yeah,
that's the one that plays on multiple levels. There you go. There you go.
Amazing. So now we know that chocolate bar before every game for Natalie Spooner. We're going to make sure that this continues. Well, I guess you're going to be making sure that this continues, and we'll see how it plays out. Natalie, we really appreciate the time. This has been so much fun. All the best with the Sceptres. We'll be at Scotiabank for the Battle on Bay Street on January 17th. We hope all of our listeners will be as well. We'll be cheering you on at this year's Olympics. Thanks for this.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Yes, great interview, guys.
Natalie.
Spooner is the best.
Thank
Go
you.
get tickets for Battle of the Bay Street. Just Sceptres, I'm here for it. There's so many great storylines in the PWHL. I can't wait to see her in the Olympics and to see what Team Canada does. I love that interview, guys, and I love score bars. And I'm going to eat a chocolate bar now before every freaking show. Let's go.
Score is the best. Score is the GOAT chocolate bar. That crunch,
nobody actually thinks Score is the best. No,
what?
Stop.
Oh, I do.
Like both of you,
That's
stop.
my favorite chocolate bar.
No, it's too much
that crunch
coffee.
with the butterscotch taffy covered in chocolate.
You need to brush your teeth after. It's too much.
No, it is not. And I'll tell you, it is the best chocolate bar that then translates to a Blizzard or McFlurry or whatever you want to call it. It is the gift that keeps on gifting.
No.
Talk that talk, Lindsay Dunn.
Reese's. Put a swear dark jar over this.
Across the board, Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh, absolutely not. But you know what? We will discuss this offline because we need to talk about the NFL and what a wild weekend it was. Oh my gosh. I would like to start off with the game I would like to talk about and be selfish because the Bills game. Going in to take on a team that did not lose at home since October. You have Josh Allen, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. The final minute, it was insane. He was so clutch. This entire team just had this moment, and then they won on the road in the playoffs for the first time in almost 3 decades. So this morning, across the world, I'm checking in on Buffalo Bills Nation. How are you feeling, Bills Mafia? How many tables did you jump off of in the world? I know it's just what a performance by Allen. Now they're going to take on the Broncos. I cannot wait for this storyline, but just the anticipation and just how that game ended and how close it was. I don't know how a diehard Mafia fan felt. Because as someone that's just casual and I'm rooting for a lot of people like Jack Armstrong who loves them. And then I want Josh Allen to continue to have a great game. You're just this was cinema. This was great football and I'm here for it. And this is what we had all weekend. So Cabbie, I'm curious your thoughts on the Chicago game.
Oh yeah. It was, listen, one quick note about the Bills Mafia, that family probably feels so much relief because they finally won a game on the road. They haven't won a game on the road since the Blue Jays won the World Series. That's how long it's been because Josh Allen's had to go through Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow to get further in the playoffs, and he hasn't yet. But Chicago completed a historic comeback against the blood rival, the Green Bay Packers. And I tweeted, so the Bears were down 21-3 at half to Green Bay. And I tweeted 21-3 is the new 21-8 because the New England Patriots were down 23-8 to the Atlanta Falcons at half in that Super Bowl in 2017 or whatever. And there was this miraculous comeback. Chicago scored 25 points in the fourth quarter and held Green Bay to 6.
Wow.
It was unbelievable. Got a quote. We're going to have the greatest comeback in Bears history. So Chicago Bears tight end Cole Kmet said this after the game, relaying what head coach Ben Johnson said at halftime to his squad, and they won. The Bears forced 3 consecutive punts on Green Bay, and then the Packers had no response on offense, only managing 6 points in the second half. Real quick, DeAndre Swift scores a touchdown with 10 minutes left in the game, 21-16 Green Bay. The building goes insane. Olamide Zacchaeus scores a nice 8-yard touchdown, just open in the back of the end zone. Again, the tide is turning, and then the final touchdown was a well-designed, was a fake screen to Luther Burden. Before that, holy cow. There was a moment that I don't know if it's blown up yet on Twitter or on IG, but Caleb Williams on a 4th and 8, the mother bleeper turned into like the Jumpman logo. And obviously it's Chicago Bears. I saw the clip with like the Bulls intro music. Doom, 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 doom. The mother bleeper's running across his body. And it looks like the Jumpman logo on a 4th and 8. He hits Colston Loveland down. Like, it was just magical. Colston Loveland, rookie tight end out of Michigan, 15 targets, 8 catches for 137 yards, no touchdowns, would definitely killed a couple of parlays. But he had a great game. Anyway, the final touchdown was well-designed play, fake a Luther Burden. DJ Moore is open on the left sideline. Caleb Williams finds him for a 25-yard touchdown, 31-27 over Green Bay. It's only the 3rd time they've met in the playoffs. And this is off the heels of like a couple of weeks ago, Dan and I were talking about Chicago on the final play. Just Caleb Williams, cold as ice, throws he threw a 46-yard on the money touchdown to DJ Moore. DJ Moore, again, gets the game-winning listen, the NFL playoffs are crack cocaine. They are. It's heroin and it's Red Bull and it's Dan mentioned Tony Montana. It's that whole pile of cocaine, Tony Montana in the final third of Scarface. It's just one of those. Yeah. Anyway,
if you were listening, go to YouTube to just replay that moment. They
host the LA Rams on the early window on Sunday. It was just, I don't know if Wildcard weekend is always spectacular. So I don't know if the rest of the playoffs can match what we just saw on Saturday and Sunday, but it was elite. Dan, I don't know I don't know if you saw any of this going on in this weekend, but what was the game that you loved on Saturday or Sunday in the NFL? And I'm pantomiming snorting a giant mound of cocaine for the listening audience.
There we go. You said it.
There was none of that in the Eagles game. As we know, they can take some of the fun out of football, but it was still entertaining, the Eagles and Niners game. And I don't know if you guys were following this last week as a story developed on Twitter. Some Peter Cowan put out this like thread about electromagnetic fields near Levi's Stadium and the Niners practice facility, and they've got the most like Achilles tendon injuries in the league since they opened Levi's in that practice facility. And then George Kittle goes out with another one. So this theory is just like taken off. And you look at the Niners injury report, it's got like everybody on it, except for Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey right now. I mean, Demarcus Robinson looked like Jerry Rice in his prime last night against the Philadelphia Bleeping Eagles, who are supposed to have one of the best defenses in all of football. But the Niners and Kyle Shanahan still found a way. And I couldn't be more impressed by the Niners and how they've done this season, how they've still pressed on despite all these injuries. No Fred Warner, no Bosa on defense, and still finding a way to keep the Eagles offense quiet, though I think some of their own problems had something to do with that as well. But I'm really impressed with the Niners. It's going to be a fascinating rematch of Week 18 against the Seahawks coming up. And like both storylines end up being crazy because you've got the Eagles who, they just won the Super Bowl, but it feels like a decade ago that Super Bowl was, because there's just so much turmoil around that squad. AJ Brown is reportedly like giving hugs to every player and the teammate in the locker room after the game as if to say goodbye, because it doesn't feel like that relationship is going to be able to continue with everything that's happened this year. He was blowing up with Nick Sirianni on the sidelines, and then he's dropping passes on 3rd and long and making himself look bad after all of it. It was just a mess on the Eagles side. And I just wonder, as much as, they should have a long leash after winning a Super Bowl last year, it's going to be an interesting offseason for the Eagles with everything that's happened.
Hey, real quick, remember that moment? Was it week 1 or week 2? The mother bleepers on the sidelines reading during the game? Like, come on, bro. Like, and I think he was maybe he was reading from his own journal as a way to like calm himself down. But like, bro, you about to read, get Zillow out because you're gonna have to find a new condo soon, my dude. I feel like they're gonna ship his ass out very soon. Well, I guess we'll see. But I'm sure Philadelphia. Can you imagine Philadelphia sports radio today? Woo.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
They're all over the chance that they may get Bo Bichette. That's where Philly's radio is also at.
I mean, now that would lift the spirits of the entire city. They get Bo Bichette. That's a great call on that one.
Oh man, fly Eagles fly. They did not. I cannot wait to see how the rest of the playoffs go. I'm really excited to see the Bills and Broncos, I believe. It's just the stress, the excitement. Can they win another game on the road? So many juicy storylines. But when we talk a little bit about football, basketball, baseball, whatever it may be, guys, I want to hear your 416 ProLine pick of the day, because when watching your favorite sports, make things interesting with ProLine. You must be 18 plus to bet in store, 19 plus online, and for Ontario residents only. And yeah, please play responsibly. Dan, what are you going with today?
I wonder how the Steelers and the Texans are going to give an encore to Wildcard weekend and put the cherry on top. But I do have the Texans in this game going into Pittsburgh and beating up on Cabbie's bestie there, Aaron Charles Rodgers. Give me a Nico Collins anytime touchdown against the Steelers tonight. I sneaky think the Texans have a chance at making a Super Bowl run with how good their defense is and the way CJ Stroud really came on at the end of the year. So I'm with Nico Collins and the Texans tonight.
I love that play, Dan. And we want to emphasize that these picks are for entertainment purposes only. Tonight in the association, I'm staying in Scotiabank Arena. Emmanuel quickly has averaged 6 assists a game in the month of January. They're playing the Sixers again tonight. He's playing his college teammate, Tyrese Maxey, his college teammate at Kentucky. These guys were put on a show on Sunday. I hope that IQ puts on a show on Monday. They say that it's rumored that the big fella Joel Embiid will return to tonight's action. So IQ, run the fast break, my G. They're not going to catch up to you. Get a bunch of assists. Over 5.5 assists is the play that I like tonight for my ProLine pick of the day.
Yes, let's keep those good vibes going towards the Raptors. And when we talk about winning and speeches, whatever it may be, I want to end off the show talking a little bit about the Golden Globes. Because, hey, squad, people watching or listening, you may have watched them. You may not have known that they even were on. But Dan brought this to our attention, that Rose Byrne, who won Best Performance for a Female Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy for the show, If I Had Legs, I Would Kick You. Yeah, very interesting title to the movie, but it is the actual title. Here is what she had to say in her acceptance speech.
I want to thank my husband Bobby Cannavale, who couldn't be here because we're getting a bearded dragon, and he went to a reptile expo in New Jersey. So thank you, baby.
What is a bearded dragon even? I don't even know.
Is it a what? Yeah, but I didn't know that she was so wrapped with emotion during that speech, and it's pretty funny. Oh my God!
I really I feel there's a 99% chance that this isn't true, but it's also a hilarious excuse. I mean, this is like my dog ate my homework levels of, telling your teacher why you didn't finish your homework last night. But the bearded dragon, and he's at a reptile show in New Jersey. I can't imagine a better way to not be supporting your partner while they win a big award.
That's a veteran move by Bobby Cannavale. He's probably on stage on Broadway because he's a stage actor and a film actor, so he probably couldn't fly to LA and then make it back to do the show. I mean, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, but it's evidently they got to work it up. But it's a hilarious excuse not to show up to an award show.
I love it. What a hilarious speech. Interesting moment. And she's lovely. That movie, it's an interesting one. So if you've watched it, please let us know your review. To me, it's pretty dark, but Conan O'Brien's also in it, A$AP Rocky. But just so you guys know, in the Golden Globes, they now introduced a new category about like best podcast, and Amy Poehler won. She is awesome. So when eventually we win one, let's put I'll make sure that any of our partners are not out getting bearded dragons. We'll make sure that they're there. We will be. So like it's out there right now. If you're going to want one in your life, buy it now because we have a little bit of time until next year. Okay. Go tell your partners, go get that bearded dragon now because we're going to be at the Golden Globes next year. I can't even keep a straight face. Anyways, thank you for joining us.
What jokes would Nikki Glaser make about us?
Oh,
I'd love to hear it. Love to get roasted by one of the roast masters.
Yeah.
She cut up Leo DiCaprio pretty good last night.
Oh, did she ever? Thank you for roasting us in the comments all day. We appreciate it. We'll see you guys tomorrow on Off the Roster.
Hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more Off the Roster content, make sure to like and hype this video and subscribe to the Nation Network YouTube channel.